Hello, dear children. Welcome to the session. Today we'll deal with this grammar part, preposition. Okay. Before that, I'd like to appreciate the children who have submitted your homework. You remember last week you were given with a comprehension passage and around 15 sentences to fill in the blanks using preposition. But I just gave you an introduction to preposition. Okay, today I think we'll just deal with the preposition fully. We'll learn the usage of preposition and try to do the sentences once again. Okay, children, got it? So once again you'll have to do the homework because I found some of the children doing with the wrong usage of the preposition. Now today let us learn it in detail of how to use, and you will do it once again. Okay, and comprehension part, I think this time you will be getting a different passage. Okay, now coming to this preposition. A preposition is a word that is placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relationship to other words in a sentence. Pre means before. Position means place. A word placed before a noun, especially before the object. You can just have it in that way. Okay, so before a noun, in the sense you have two nouns in a sentence, children. One as the subject and the other as a verb. So you have a preposition placed before a noun, that is your object. Okay, now I think you can understand the definition properly. See, a preposition is a word. A preposition is a word that is placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relationship to other words in a sentence. Okay, now these are the various prepositions given here. See, above, you can just see something placed over the line there. Under, below the line. Beside, by the side. Outside, you just see the object placed outside the box. Inside, within, on top. Okay, now you just learn the difference between above, overhead, on top of. Okay, the flower vase is a place on top of television. Okay, next, in front of. There's a big tree in front of my house. In front of. Behind. The dog hid behind the door. The dog hid behind the door. Hid, the past form of hide. Between. You see the object placed between the two lines here. That is how you see. Okay, between. Okay, then around the clock. Okay, around. Up, down. Up, down. Through. The ball passed through the window. The ball passed through the window. Now look at the usage of the prepositions given here. Okay, the sun shines above my head. Under, beside, outside, inside, on top of, in front of, behind, between, around, up and down, through. Okay, now let's move to the next page. So usually prepositions can be learnt under three forms here. Prepositions based on time, prepositions based on place, prepositions based on movement. Okay, what are the words of time here? You can just have it in your mind that these are the words of time. In, on, at, since, for, during, etc. Now, how will you define this? These prepositions are used to indicate when a particular event happened. Okay, it denotes the timing here. Okay, preposition of time. I was studying in the morning. When? In the morning. Okay, now I think you will understand. I is the subject that you are talking about. When? In the morning. It refers to the part of the day there. Okay, in, referring to the time here. She was born on the 5th of July. So whenever you want to denote a day or date. She was born on the 5th. Okay, she was born on Monday. But in the month of July, in the year 2000. Okay, now you'll have to understand the usage of time here. You use on with day and date. Okay, children, I think it would be better if you just jot down all these points here. Okay, it's always better to be seated with the notepad. Okay, now just try to note the difference here. Okay, I was studying when in the morning. It refers to the timing here. She was born on the 5th of July. On. Whenever you want to denote the day or date, you will have to use only on. Suppose you want to indicate only the month, then she was born in the month of July. Okay, have you got, children? For day and date, you have to use on. Okay, and for the month and the year, you will use in. She was born on the 5th of July. She was born on Monday. Now, note the difference there. Whenever you want to denote the date or day, you will have to use the preposition on. And in refers here to the timing. And here, even if you want to denote the month or the year, you will use in. She was born in the month of July. She was born in 2000. Okay, now these are the usage of prepositions based on time. I will reach there at 6 o'clock. I will reach there at 6 o'clock sharp. Okay, you'll be there at, see, look at the time mentioned here, particularly sharp at 6. Okay, so when you are specific with the timing, you will use at. Hope you understand, children. Okay, we are dealing with the prepositions of time. Okay, and the words of time or the prepositions of time are in, on, at, since, for, during, etc. Okay, during. I'll be visiting my grandparents during the vacation. When? During the time. That is what is given here. When a particular event happen or will take place. Okay, so it indicates the time there. And here I also told you, I live in Salem. Where in Salem? At Anna Nagar. So for big places you use in, and whenever you are talking about a particular place you use at. Okay, now you'll have to understand the usage of this. Now some words are applicable for time as well as place. See, in given here in time also, and here place also. Similarly, on given there and also in the place. Okay, now you will have to understand how to use. Okay, now this indicates a place here. The cat is on the wall. The cat is on the wall. I told you, no, the preposition is a word placed before a noun, and the cat is also a noun, the wall is also a noun, and you have the preposition placed before the wall there. Okay, and this, who is there on the wall? The cat. Now this is the relation between the cat and the wall there. Now if you do not have this on, then you have the sense like the cat is the wall and the wall is the cat. So unless and until you place a preposition, you won't have any sense there. Okay, that is why we use the preposition here. The preposition is a word that relates to two nouns in a sentence. I think you understand the definition now. I think you understand the definition. Okay, the cat is on the wall. Okay, you have a preposition placed before a noun, and this relates the two nouns in a sentence. You are talking about the cat and you are talking about the wall. Where is the cat actually? On the wall. Okay, and we have used this on to indicate the date and the day. Okay, on the 5th of July, on Monday. Suppose you want to use in, then you will have to use before the month and the year. Okay, now coming to the next example. Jenny lives near her workplace. Where? See, all this answering to the question where. Jenny and her workplace. Okay, and see her, that is what I told you in the previous page. You had that noun or a pronoun, and here Her actually refers to Jenny here. Okay, so you have a word placed before a noun to show its relation to a noun that is already placed in the sentence there. So this on relates the cat and the wall. How it relates there? You say that cat is seated on the wall there. Okay, then maybe it's a noun or a pronoun. Jenny lives near her workplace. Her workplace is another noun, and here is a word placed before her workplace. Her is actually Jenny here. Okay, and her is a pronoun or the word used instead of noun Jenny. Hope you got it, children. Okay, next. Raj is in his room. Raj is in his room. Okay, referring to the place here. Where is Raj? Raj is in his room. Okay, if you want to indicate big places, I think you can use in. I live in Salem. Where in Salem? Then you go for a particular place. I live at Annanagar in Salem. So whenever you are talking about a specific or a particular place, then you can use this at. Okay, so we are just learning to use the prepositions in the right form, in the proper form. Okay, and some words are common to time as well as place. Okay, now let's go through the words with movement. These prepositions are used to describe movement. These include to, into, towards, through, etc. See, you are moving towards the bookstore. Movement. I went to the bookstore. Again, bookstore is a noun and I is a noun, and the preposition is placed before the bookstore, and this preposition, preposition, the word placed before the noun to relate itself to the other noun in a sentence. Now, which is the other noun in the sentence? This is the subject. What is the subject? Who are you talking about? I. Hope you understand. So, preposition is a word placed before a noun to relate itself to another noun in a sentence. You know, a sentence holds two nouns there, subject and the object, and you have the placement of preposition before the object. See, if I just remove this two, I went to the bookstore. You see, something is missing there to complete the sense. Okay, hope you understand, children. So, pre means before and position means place. A word placed before a noun to show its relation to another noun. Okay, here you'll have to understand a sentence holds two nouns here. The word before the verb is your subject that indicates a noun, and the word after the verb. So you can just have it like this. Before verb is a subject and after the verb is the object. And where have you got to place the preposition? The preposition is placed before the object. Now try to understand the definition. Okay. Pre means before, position means place, the word placed before a noun. And here we are talking about the bookstore. Bookstore is a noun, I is also a noun. Where have you placed a preposition? It's before the bookstore. Okay, so preposition, again, once again to the definition, a word that is placed before a noun. Okay, you'll have to understand a sentence has two nouns sometimes, one before the verb and the other after the verb. The word before the verb is your subject and after the verb is your object, and the placement of the preposition is before the object. Now I think you can understand the definition here. A preposition is a word that is placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relationship to the other words in a sentence there. Simply saying it's a word that relates to two nouns in a sentence. Suppose if I remove this on, then what is the meaning of the sentence there? The cat is the wall. Is it so? Hope you understand. Okay. So this is the base that you'll have to understand. Pre, before, position, place. A word placed before a noun, and this relates two nouns in a sentence. Can a sentence hold two nouns there? Of course. Okay, before the verb in the form of subject and after the verb in the form of object. Now where is this preposition placed? Before the object. Hope I have made myself clear, children. Okay, now try to understand of where you will have to use, and some words are used in common like time as well as place. Okay, big place to indicate big places, I think you can use in, and a specific or particular place you can use at, both for time as well as place. Coming to this movement too. Okay, I went to the bookstore. The swimmer jumped into the pool. Into. Okay, and pool. Okay, into the pool. Getting into the room, or she got into the room and then jumping into the pool there. Okay, try to understand the difference. The dog was coming towards him. All these are the words of direction. To, into, towards, through. Okay, and these are the words of timing too. Okay, but here you talk about the timings that started once upon a time and still going on, or a particular period of time. Okay, so you have two words here, since and for, and these are perfect forms. Okay, you use since and for along with the perfect forms here. And see, look at the sentence given here, the example given here. I have been studying since 5 a.m. Okay, means you have started it at 5 and even now you are revising. Okay, so you started once upon a time. Hope you remember the tense. Okay, we have 4 forms for each condition. We have simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous, and since and for occurs in a sentence only with this perfect continuous form. So whenever you use a since or for, you always have this perfect continuous form in a sentence there, which means it indicates a time it had started earlier once upon a time and is still going on. Now means at present. Okay, the construction of this building has been going on since January. Okay, so these are the words of timing here, and usually they occur in a sentence with present continuous form, which means it started earlier and it's still going on. It's still in continuity. Got it, children? Since, that started and is still going on. Okay, whereas for again a perfect form. Maya has worked in this institution as an accountant for 23 years. For, since it started and going on, it gives you a particular period of time. For indicates a particular period of time, and Maya has worked in this institution for how many years? For 23 years. Okay, and these two are very important. Okay, these are the time based words, time based prepositions that indicates time there. Since, that started once upon a time and still continuing, and for talks about a particular period of time. Okay, now I think read the sentences again so that you will understand the difference there. I have been studying since 5 a.m. and I am at it even now. You are still proceeding with it. Okay, and Maya has worked in this institution as an accountant for 23 years. So it indicates a particular period of time. Many ideas were discussed for 3 weeks for a particular period of time. Okay, now you will have to remember these prepositions like this. What are the prepositions of timing? In, on, at, since, for, during, etc. And you have the repetition for the place also. In, on, between, behind, under, over, near. And then prepositions of movement: to, into, towards, through. Okay, and here again based on time, particular point of time, duration of time, you are given with the two forms here and how to use since and for. Similarly, the difference between during and in. Okay, Both are used to describe actions that happen in a particular period of time. Okay, we will be visiting my grandparents during the summer vacation. Instead of during, you can also use in. Okay, anyway, it means the same. You don't have any difference in meaning there. Okay, next, between and among. Between, that involves only two in number, you use between, and more than two, among. Okay, between is used when naming definite individual items here. That's what you remember it in this way. My mother asked me to share this between me and my brother, so that involves only two people there, you use between. Maybe more than two, you use among. Okay, the discussion on a sports meet between our school and other schools are going on for 2 days. The final match will be held between India and Australia. See, among is used when the items are part of a group and are not specifically named. The sailors divided the money, more than two. Okay, more than two, you have sailors only, it's a plural form. When it's between two, you use between, more than two, you use among. Okay, and the ship sailed on. We discussed this point among ourselves many times over the past months. Okay, these are some of the common prepositions that we use. Okay, now this is very important. Look at the pictures here, try to identify, and then prepositions of time, prepositions of place, preposition of movement, and the most confusing part, since and for. When you'll have to use since, that started once upon a time and still going, and for a particular period you use for there. Okay, and similarly you will have to learn the difference between time based only. From, the classes will be held from 10 to 12. So whenever you are talking about the timings there, and if you use from, you have two in between. Suppose if it is between, the classes will be held between 10 and 12. So the usage from will take to, and between will take and. Okay, now let us go back to the definition. Let us go back to the definition. So a preposition is a word that is placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relationship to the other words in a sentence. And I made it easier by defining it as a word placed before a noun to relate itself to the other noun in a sentence there. Okay, which means you'll have to understand you have two nouns in a sentence, one as a subject and the other as an object, and you have this preposition placed before the object. And suppose if you remove the preposition, then you don't have proper meaning in the sentence there. Okay, and in, on used for time as well as place. Okay, and whenever you talk about the day and the date, use on, and month and year, use in. And whenever you are setting the timings between, then you will have to use from, to, between, and. Okay, and when to use since and for. Hope you understand, children. Okay, now you have an activity given here. Okay, some of you have got. Okay, some of you are confused, I think. So between for and of. For is a word of time. Have it in this sense. Okay, for is a word of time, and it indicates a particular period. And of, I am the son of belonging or material. The chain is made of gold. Try to understand the difference. Okay, for, when to use for, and what is the difference between for and of. Okay, so these are some of the common prepositions that we are confused with. Okay, so we have been living, I told you, whenever you use since and for, you'll have to use only your perfect continuous form. It is started once upon a time and it still goes on, or it deals with a particular period of time. Okay, Abdul has taken his father, means he resembles his father. At is again a word of time, particular time. Okay, or a particular place, and therefore see. Okay, now you will have to use this process of elimination, children. Now you understand what is this for and what is this since. Now both are time based words only, but since is a word of continuity. and for is a word of particular time. Okay, in this way you will have to go, okay, which is not suitable, you will have to remove that. Okay, and here also after, at. Okay, Vimal generally goes to his workplace dash bus. See, you are given with the two options here. By how do you come to school? How do you come to school? Do you come to school on bus or by bus? Okay, see, this is how you are provided with the two words there. Now you just place it, understand the sense there, and fix a word there. The cricket ball was hidden. Okay, when to use this among and between. I told you, you can easily remember. To means between, more than two means among. Okay, this is how you can bear it in your mind, the easy clues. Okay, money divided his toys, brothers and sisters. Okay, more than two. Identify the prepositions in the given sentences and underline them. Okay, I'll just do one sentence for you. Ria borrowed a dress from me and lent it to her friend. From whom? From me. To whom? To. Okay, and what is a preposition? It is a word. See, you have two sentences here, just boxes and. Read the sentence before and. Ria borrowed a dress from me. What is a preposition? Preposition is a word placed before a noun or a pronoun. Okay, and Ria is a noun here and me is a pronoun here, and this is a subject and this is the object. Now you have a word placed before the pronoun. I think you can easily identify the preposition here. Okay, it is a word placed before a noun, and I told you a sentence has two nouns sometimes, one as the subject and the other as the object, and this is a word placed before the object. Okay, now this part, and she is missing here, or Ria lent it to her friend. Okay, her friend. So this is a pronoun here, pronoun, and to is a word placed before the pronoun. Okay, I think you have learned to identify the prepositions. Okay, you know what is the definition? Pre means before, position means place, word placed before a noun, and here we have two nouns here, one as the subject and the other as the object, and the word placed before the object, and this relates Ria and me here. Hope you got it, children. I've given you one example. Now I think you'll have to do the rest as homework. Now this is a passage given. Now you will have to read the passage and you will have to fix the prepositions given here. These are all the common prepositions given. Okay, and now read the passage. Read it twice or thrice. Try to understand and then you can do. Okay. Okay, this is with regard to your preposition. Preposition is a part of speech. So we have 8 parts there, and this is one of the parts of the speech there, and we have learned the usage of a preposition. And sometimes some verbs are usually followed by prepositions before the object of the verb. Okay, see, laughed at. At is a preposition and laughed is a verb there. Okay, some verbs are usually followed by prepositions. Okay, these words are called prepositional phrases. These words are called prepositional phrases. Laughed at. The kids laughed at the hilarious antics of the clown. Fatima planned to stay at a hotel when she visited Mumbai. Just look at the words there. So more than one word you call it a phrase. More than one word you call it a phrase. Okay, and one is a verb and the other one is a preposition. Hence this can be called as phrasal verb too. Got it, children? So more than one word you call it a phrase, and this phrase has some meaning but not a complete meaning. But whenever you have a verb with the preposition, you call it a prepositional verb, or you may call it as phrasal verb. Okay, and then planned to stay at a hotel, attend to, I believe in. Okay, yes, she was so happy in life that she could not ask for more. She's contented. The elderly couple care for their pets as they do for their children. Care for. Okay, and using the dictionary, you can collect some more words there and try to place these prepositional verbs in sentences of your own. Okay, yes. Here given below is a picture of a carnival. Carnival in the sense festival. Car festival, carnival. Okay. Look at the scene there, scenery there. Okay, you just see the temple there. Okay. They are an excellent platform to promote and preserve the vibrant art and culture of the Tamils there. Previously we had a passage based on this folklore, folk arts. Okay, and similarly we just have a passage there, and here I think you will have to fill in the blanks with the verbs there. Okay, either prepositions or prepositional verbs. Okay, a Tiruvizha is a source of excitement and thrill for villagers. The village thoroughfare wears a festive look as the open spaces are cleaned, spruced up and decorated with colorful streamers. So I have used the preposition with here, with colorful streamers. Now use prepositions there in the blanks and try to complete the passage. Okay children? Okay. See, I want you to repeat the homework. First of all, I'd like to appreciate the children who have submitted their homework. Well done children. And what about the others? Okay, and some of you have some wrong answers there. Now that we have learnt the usage of prepositions, I think you will go through the prepositions once again, understand the usage of the prepositions, and you will rewrite the activity given to you. Okay, and this time you will be getting another passage, comprehension passage, and then you can do. Okay, if you have any doubt, you just please note it down, and you may just get it cleared when you just submit your assignments. You may come with your parents and you can get it cleared. Hope I have made myself clear children. Okay. Okay, next there is another skill, writing. You stayed with your grandparents at your native village during Pongal. You had an unforgettable time with them. You visited the village fair and enjoyed the simple pleasures of like bathing in the river, strolling in the fields, eating food cooked in earthen utensils over firewood, sleeping on a cot on the terrace under the starlit sky, visiting temple fairs and watching Karagatam presentation. Okay, you are given with the exact scenario of what happens during the carnival. Okay, a village. You had attended this. Now write a letter to your friend describing the joy of celebrating festivals in a village with the inputs given above. You can have these, you may develop these ideas given here. Okay, I hope you remember the parts of a letter. Okay, first identify if it is a formal or an informal letter. A letter that you write to the people who are very close to you, you call it an informal letter. You don't have any formalities there, and I'll just give you the parts and you may develop it. So right corner you may have your date and a day. Then you begin with the salutation. Okay, you are writing this letter to your friend. Maybe you can just write. Okay, and then you will have the formal like fine, how about you, and then you will have to expand the ideas given there. Okay, and then have a conclusion part. Okay, convey my regards to everyone at home, my wishes or my pranams to your parents, etc. Then you have the subscription. yours lovingly. Okay, and then you have address on the envelope. Don't forget, write the address on the envelope. Okay children, I think I have made myself clear. Letter writing is not new to you, and this is only an informal letter. You are writing a letter to your friend. Okay, just note down the parts of the letter that I have given you. To the right top you will have your date and the station. You begin with the greetings like, then you will develop the body of the letter, you will have the conclusion, then you have subscription, and then you have superscription. Superscription is nothing but address on the envelope. Okay, if you have any doubt, you may just refer to your composition notebook of your previous year and try to understand of how to develop the letter and do it. Okay, and this project work, I think this is a team work. I think we'll just do it later. It would be better if you do it in the class there. Okay children, today I think we just complete the vocabulary and the grammar part of the first lesson, learning the game. Okay, I think we have just covered the lesson there. Okay, with this we complete the first prose part. Okay, and thereafter now let us do with this. Hope you are reciting the poem children. Hope you are reciting the poem daily. Okay, keep in touch and try to complete your work regularly. Okay, and thank you children. Meet you in the next session and try to submit your homework. Okay, okay. And stopping by Woods, I think we have already dealt with the poem there, and I think we'll have to work upon the poetic lines here. This I think we will do it in the next session. Okay, if you are having your own text, it would be better to follow, otherwise you'll have to watch the screen and you'll have to proceed. Okay children, hope you have understood today's lesson there. We have done only with the grammar part preposition, and try to complete your activities as well as the homework given. Thank you.